Hello folks, and welcome back to my channel, the Scottish Model Railway Guy. Today is going to be a wee crafty one. It's similar to things you've seen before, but I'm just going to zoom in quickly. What we're looking at is, in certain areas of the layout, you'll see these tiny wee tufts of grass. Now I'm just going to quickly show you what those look like a little closer. I'll just stop the train first and then we'll zoom right in for a proper look. So these little trackside tufts of grass here, they come in little packs, and I'm just going to move out to normal size and then I'm going to show you them. They come in little boxes like this, and then you sort of open them up and you see that. So I often wondered how you do that. And it was a comment from somebody that had came onto my channel and said, look, you can make these yourself. So I'm going to give it a bash. These packs can cost anything, it depends where you get it. If you get it for Temu, it might cost you £5 or £6 for the packs, and they look good, no doubt. But if I can do them for free, that's even better. Now, the top tip I was given was to do it with greaseproof paper and some PVA glue. So I suppose, let's see what happens, eh? So first of all, I went to the kitchen and I liberated some greaseproof paper. Found myself some high-tack glue, which I've got for the layout anyway, and it's going to be as simple as making a shape, right? And I think the trouble with some of these tufts is, you know, you take what you can get with them. So I'm just going to make some shapes, and then I'm going to use my static grass applicator to see how that's going to work out, and then the objective at the end is to just shake it off, leave it overnight, and then see how it turns out. Now this might be awful, and I suppose we'll find out in a wee second. That something tells me I'm putting too much glue on it, but yeah, we shall try and see how interesting it gets, and see if it looks anything like what I bought. Now, got my trusty old static grass applicator here. Always take a battery out at night time in case I set the place on fire. That's my top tip. And then I'm just going to go through the process that I've showed you before, which is to get that somewhere near it, press the button, and then see if it comes. I'm not really happy with that finish, to be honest, but I suppose we'll find out closer to the time. I'm not really sure. Is it sticking up? It is. I think the tufts are coming, but I've got a feeling the secret to this one, discharge, remember that? I've got a feeling that this one is going to need 2 types of grass, so I'm going to pause it a second and go back in. And we are back, and I've changed out the grass that's on it to a darker one. Turn it upside down, press the button, and then just give it little shakes. See if I can get a second texture to it. Now it looks like overkill, but I'm always going to sweep it up to save it. Discharge. Set it away safely, and now I'm going to try and tip it up to see what happens. And yeah, it does come up kinda looking like what I bought. Obviously it's all to do with texture, but ultimately if you have a static grass applicator, yes, you can make these. Now I'm going to have to leave it overnight, which is a problem because I like to show you what I'm doing straight away. But I think in this instance, you can take my word for it that that's going to work out. So it turns out it looks pretty much the same. Sure, the colour's different, and all you have to do is buy a different colour or mix it. This will be probably a winter one. This is the ones bought from Temu. I can't remember the price, but something tells me it was about £5 or £6 for this. This was made for pennies, but you do need the static grass applicator first. Does it come off like one of them? Well, we'll find out. Underneath, you've got this kind of glue. And at first I thought when I bought them it's self-adhesive, but it isn't. So we'll chuck that back down. Does mine come off like that? I'm going to move this first. Make it a little bit easier. And see if it comes off like that. A little. Yeah, it does. Exactly the same. So you can see it just came off like that, and you're left with this random sort of tuft of grass. Yeah, so that's good, and it could save you a fortune if you do have the static grass applicator. But the other application, if you wanted to put little tiny fine beads, you could make little edges for example, speed bumps, which I have, but I'm going to try and show some placement of this. I think of this one. It's quite an interesting shape. You won't get ones like that out of the shop, and I suppose that's the beauty of doing it yourself. I'll try and pick it up without destroying it. You can see it there. I'm going to come up and you can see it's actually sitting up like static grass should, although my clumsy hands have flattened that a bit. But let's get on the layout, see how it looks. So we've got this tidy wee zone here. Off to the left I've got my Citylink bus, Polis, Class 57, and I've got this little bus that's going to the Burns Monument, which I presume is in air. So I suppose for something like that I've just made, you could slot it in, for example, and this is just an example because I made that totally random shape. But for example, you could slot it in there to add a little bit more to it. Zooming in a little bit more. Yeah, looks decent. You could shape it, press it whatever way you want to try and give that little extra to the scenic. And I think that works out, to be honest. Yeah, I suppose it's just another learning and another way to save some money when you're putting your model railway together. And that was a tip for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Something different, a little bit crafty. I guess you saw in the background I was doing the train, or should I say tree. I was getting the tree ready, and that's going to be a future video, how to make your own home trees. However, I need to figure it out first. But you know I'm always up for a challenge. And yeah, challenges, as you know, are my speciality. This whole layout came from just challenging myself and seeing where I could take it. And it's turning into a fair old layout now. So yeah, if you choose to subscribe, it would be appreciated. It's one after another videos coming my way, so please do, and I'll see you again, folks. Thank you.